Hi everybody, welcome back to the Claremont Classic Garage. Finally, things in the old car world are starting to come back to life. So I figured it's time we do some old car stuff today. I'm going to introduce you to another member of our family that you haven't met yet. This is the GTS. It's a 1969 Dodge GTS. Some people call it a Dodge Dart GTS, which it, obviously is, but it doesn't say Dart on it anywhere. It is a Dodge GTS. This car was ordered and bought new in Toronto, Ontario, and made famous by the lady that used to drive it up and down Kingston Road in Scarborough. Everybody used to talk about the little old lady with the 69 GTS. How we ended up with it, it's a long story. But hey, that's what we're here for, right? The story starts in 1992. My wife and I were newly married. We had literally just gotten the keys to our first house. We didn't have five cents to our name, 2 pennies to rub together, or a pot to piss in. But hey, we had our own house, and we were living the dream. So I go down to cruise night one night, and here is this car sitting there with a for sale sign in it. I took one look at it, and I said, we must have this car no matter what. So despite being mortgaged up to our eyeballs, we went into the bank and borrowed even more money that we didn't have so we could buy this car. And how long ago was 1992? Almost 30 years, eh? So that's how long we've had this thing. And what can I say? We love it. I convinced my wife it was her car. And it really is her car. I don't mess with it too much. She doesn't let me touch it all that much, really, because it's her car. And I understand that. If it was my car, I wouldn't let anybody touch it neither, eh? So what you're looking at here is it's a weird car. I didn't know this when I bought it. I knew I'd never seen anything like it, but I didn't know what it was about it that I'd never seen before. Well, it turns out that this is a very, very special 69 GTS, as it's A4 Platinum Metallic, which was not available on these cars. You could not get an A4 Platinum Metallic 69 Dart. It was not an available color. But, being the 60s, you could pay extra and get whatever you wanted. So this car has a 99 paint code, which means special order. 999 was special order show car paint, whole different animal. But this is just 99 special order paint. It's A4 Platinum Metallic. Over the years, I've actually managed to find 2 more of them. They're in the US, and they're all just like this one. No vinyl top, no stripe. All 3 of them were built in Hamtramck, which lends me to believe that when you got the 99 paint code on these cars were taken off the line before the paint shop, rolled into a booth, painted by hand, and put back on the line somewhere downstream of the paint shop. And my guess is where they were put back on the line was also downstream of where vinyl tops and bumblebee stripes got put on. That would, to me, explain why all 3 of these cars are striped elite and no vinyl top. And incidentally, out of the 3, we've got 1 of each. This one is a 340. The other one that I know of is a 383, and the third one is an M code 440 car. So they're all unique that way. What this one's got going for it is absolutely totally original. It's original paint, original interior. I've even up there, you can see up on the shelf, I've got 3 of the tires it was born with, and lucky enough, I found 2 more that were, worn to about the same state, so we can put all 4, in quotes, original tires on it if we show it seriously. And behind there is 2 red stripe Goodyear snow tires on painted to match steel wheels that are on the original bill of sale. Yeah, and they were in the trunk when I bought it. Can you believe that? So you want to know? This is what they look like when they've never been messed with. This here, the bun of the driver's seat had some work done on it in the 90s. I don't know how much work, if they made a new cover for it, what they did. That one is original, but it is starting to come apart there at the seam. But aside from that, the rest of the interior in this car has never been touched. Original dash pad, original door panels, although somebody got a little cigarette burn there. But that's about it, really. As far as the body goes, original paint, except for this fender. I was able to, back in the 90s, talk to the lady that ordered the car new. And she said, I think it was 1972. She was driving to work in the snow and spun it out and ran into a gremlin. A gremlin. So she had to get a new fender put on it. And you can see the guy in the body shop must have been a little confused because they put a Pentastar on this side too. What are you going to do? That's how it is. Here's what your engine looks like. 1969 340 when it's never been touched. This car is just a time machine. It's got, how many miles on it now? 47,000. When we got it, it had 36,000 miles on it, and the brake drums had never been off. The back one still had the little clippy things holding them on. Amazing. Over the years, we've done, what we've had to do to maintain it. It's had 4 new shocks put on it, a master cylinder, an idler arm, and, your basic tune-up stuff. But it's still, I haven't converted it to electronic ignition or electronic voltage regulator, any of that stuff. Well, a modern electronic voltage regulator. It does, I believe, have an electronic voltage regulator with the original cover from this car is still on it. Options wise, it's got not much. It's got headrest, which I believe this is a car was built in February of '69, and I kind of think that by then headrests were law. So it's got headrests, it's got power steering, but it's got manual drum brakes. And aside from that, pretty much just your standard GTS stuff, right? Buckets, console. It's got, an AM radio and a rear defrost. I think those were also optional equipment on this car, although I may be wrong. No deluxe wheel covers, nothing like that. Only one mirror. It's a pretty Spartan car, but we like it just the way it is. We love it just the way it is. It's been a fun car over all these years that we've had it, and it goes pretty good too. I haven't ran it in many years, but back when we used to do stuff like that, it went 14.3 at 99 miles an hour. Just couldn't get it to 100. 14.3 at 99 miles an hour, and it's its original 323 one wheel peel rear end. This car, yeah, man, it used to fly. Back in the day, you get some good gas in it, and I'd keep it tuned up good. And the thing had just stock. You put the thing in drive, and it would squawk the bloody back tires when it went into second gear. The thing was a real monster. I could see why these cars were so tough to beat on the street back in the day. It's well documented too. We've got as many things as we can have for it. We've got the order form, the bill of sale, the fender tag, of course, is on it. We've got all 3 build sheets. It's been, back in the day, we took it down to Carlisle. It went through they invented, not invented, but they came up with a great way of judging cars there. It was called the Carlisle Standard of Originality, I think they called it. And this car was literally the very first car that went through that, and it did pretty well. It was judged. They had another standard. Oh, the Mopar Nationals. It was judged there too, and it did very well. What the heck? I'm sorry. It's so long ago, I can't remember all this stuff. But I mean, it's certainly not a fake car or anything like that. It's as real as the day is long, and this is how it is. An original car, it's got bumps and bruises and dents and gouges all over it. That's just how they are. This car was just used as a car for most of its, original life until we got it. How we got it, everybody in the world was after this car, right? Everybody in the east end of Toronto, anyway, was after this car. The lady used to drive it. She lived in the beaches and she worked in Leaside, and so she'd drive it back and forth to work. It was just her car. And she decided she wanted to buy herself a new Oldsmobile. So the fella across the road from her, he bought it off her, and he was only interested in flipping it. And he was a bit of a, oh, no, I'm not going to. My mother said if you got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. But it was his kid that went down the side of it with the foot peg of a freaking dirt bike. Idiot. And it was also this guy trying to jam too many things into his freaking driveway and backed it into the propeller on his boat and did that. And any of you 69 Dart guys, you know what that piece costs. Oh boy. I've got a really, really nice one upstairs in the attic. Of course, it needs to be refinished, but it's straight as a pin that somebody kindly gave me. Anyway, silly little story like that. So anyway, we ended up buying it off that guy. And he had it for sale for a little bit. He was just trying to make money, and I didn't really care. Nobody would buy it off him because they knew what he paid the little old lady for it, and they didn't want to pay him because he was making money, blah, 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 blah. I just didn't care. I just wanted this car so bad. I don't care what he wanted for it. I was going to pay it. So I did, and I don't regret it. And so here we have this car all these years later. Anyway, I think our battery is done charging. We'll take it for a little spin around the farm. I guess I forgot. There's another option that it came with, 727 automatic transmission. These would have came standard with a 4-speed, I believe. And GTS convertibles, they came standard with a bench seat and a column shift, I believe. I'm not. No, don't quote me on that. That's probably baloney. Anyway, let's go for a spin around the farm, eh? Yeah, battery's good. We got a little bit of work to do to this. I've dragged it out because, like I said, we've got a big car show right in town in Stouffville coming up on Saturday, and I want to get this out. But this car hasn't moved in about 2 years. It's been sitting over in the shed. So what we got to do is, I know from before it had one wheel cylinder hung up on the front. So I've got 4 new wheel cylinders. I'm going to change all 4 of them. And we'll flush some new brake fluid through it. And just kind of go over it. I'll probably change the oil, grease it up, make sure it's ready to go. Look at that. Very nice to see school buses out and about again too. Maybe things are changing for the better, eh? But this thing rides just beautifully. It's just as close as possible to having a brand new 69 Dart to drive around in. There, we'll get it to pose back here, eh? And we'll do a walk around. Isn't it a nice car? Big dent in the middle of the door. She had the lady told us she had a garage in a laneway, and yeah, she used to hit the door all the time trying to turn into the garage. What are you gonna do? If I win the millions, I would never restore this car, ever. But maybe if I won the millions, I'd buy another 69 Dart 2-door hardtop and send it to Graveyard Cars and have a clone of it made that was perfect. You never know. It sounds good. Up until a couple of years ago, it had not the original mufflers, but they were the proper mufflers, Mopar ones with 1986 date codes. But they finally just disintegrated. So it's got now a pair of Thrush turbo mufflers on it. But believe it or not, it's got its original engine pipes back to the mufflers, and the back half of the tailpipes and the tips are the original ones. Although one tip has had a big piece welded into the top of it, and both tailpipes have had a new arc made where they go up over the axle, but pretty cool nonetheless. Yeah, what a car, man. They're only original once. All right, let's head back to the shop. See, 93, that's the last time it was at the Nats. Oh, how about this? See, where do you find something like this? This is from the selling dealer. Our second car from Ontario Automobile Limited. Their first car was, her husband had a 66 Valiant. That was his car. And then they ordered this one for his wife. Why they ended up with a GTS, I don't know. Maybe she wanted a swinger with bucket seats and a console, and the salesman probably figured out that putting bucket seats in a console and power steering and a radio and a swinger, it was probably cheaper actually on paper to buy a GTS that came standard with a lot of that stuff. Hard to say. I forgot to ask her that. Ah, it's even full of gas. That's good. Good, what year is it? 2021? That's probably 2019 gas. But it doesn't smell or anything when it's running, so I guess it's okay. Can't really hit it here. I don't want to spray gravel all over my quarter panels. But I'm not one of those guys anyway. I don't need to do that. That's what the racetrack is for. And race cars. So that's it. We'll put it in here. Put the battery charger on. Let it finish charging overnight. And then we'll start working on the brakes tomorrow. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed your meet and greet with the 69 GTS. I'm very happy to have it back amongst the living again. And in the next video, we'll, you know, do our little maintenance stuff and get this thing ready for what's left of cruising season or car show season, or, you know, car season in general. Anyway, that's it for now. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time on the Claremont Classic Garage. So long.